Hi everyone, Brit here. How have you been over the month? I had a good month, a really exciting month. As it was expected of us, we should do yoga every single day, and that's what I actually did. I did it every single day, half an hour in the morning, just after waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yes, you heard it right, at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually not really doing very much asanas in the morning. Basically, a couple of sun salutations and some other standing poses just to, wake up a little bit. And the rest of the half hour I use for pranayama. That is something completely new to me. I've never done this before. And so I had to really practice it this month. I think a short explanation is in order. When I say pranayama, that simply means breathing techniques. So I try to breathe in different techniques in the morning, and that is quite fun, to be honest. I enjoy it now. I didn't so much in the beginning. I had the feeling I looked really stupid, and now I don't care anymore. I'm just doing it every morning, and I feel good. I feel good, I have to say. I really think that the pranayama helps me to keep healthy because at the moment in this weather conditions, everyone around me is getting sick, having a virus, having breathing difficulties, and coughing quite a lot, sneezing. And lucky me, even though everyone around me is like kind of sick, I'm not. Anyway, to tell you more about my usual working days, after my half an hour yoga practice in the morning, after my shower, and after my breakfast at home, I never get out of the house without breakfast. I drive to work for almost half an hour and I'm stuck in the office like for 8 to 9 hours every day. And as soon as I am coming back home, I am starting my yoga practice again, and this time in the evening I go for at least an hour, and most of the time it'll be just here, just behind me. It's not much space at all. I really try to keep it simple as I don't have the space to really do fancy stuff. And to be quite honest, I think I should stick to the simple standing poses and seated poses. Now, I am not quite sure if I mentioned it already today, but today is Friday, the 7th of November 2014. That means my second weekend of the yoga teacher training is approaching very rapidly. Actually, it's 5 o'clock now, almost 5. 6 in 1.5 hours, I will be at a yoga studio and will hopefully see everyone again and we will have a good time. I'm very excited. I have to say, I'm very excited about it. We had some homework to do as well. One of the homeworks is a 3 pages essay about yoga philosophy, quite interesting. And you won't believe it, but only 2 days ago, I got an email with a third homework to do. Now, that was quite clever to send it just on to us 2 days prior to the next meeting, because what the email is basically saying is that we are supposed to teach a pose. And my name comes up with the Trikonasana pose. So that means today, or basically tomorrow, I have to teach someone from our course how to do Trikonasana in the right way. Now, this will be interesting. I am not sure if I remember everything, and I just hope I do a good job. If not, that's what I'm there for. I want to learn how to do it in the right way. So now, as I said, I have only half an hour to get ready and I'm walking down to the studio. This takes me 45 minutes. I'm sure you know that. And so I leave it for today and I tell you more about this weekend tomorrow. and on Sunday, of course. So I see you later. Bye. It is Sunday morning already, the last day of the second weekend of our yoga teacher training. I can tell you this weekend is way more intense than the first weekend was. Let me tell you what we did so far. We started Friday evening with pranayama and mantra for almost an hour, a little bit more than an hour. And after that, we went over the teaching of poses and adjustments for Saturday, because as I told you before, we were supposed to teach a pose to the rest of our class. So that's what we did, and in the last hour we had a really strong asana practice. This was very good. After sitting on the ground in a cross-legged position for the whole evening, you really looking forward to move your body a little bit. Now, Saturday morning, we started at 10 o'clock again with a strong asana practice. And after that, we already started to teaching the poses. So I was supposed to teach the Trikonasana pose. And as I said before, I have never done this. And I was going over and over it in my head, how to approach it, how to say it, and how to adjust people when they are finally in the pose. So I tell you this, as soon as I was up in front of the class and everyone else was looking at me, I forgot everything I wanted to say. So I went through it very fast. Poor people were staying there forever in the pose. Well, now, my first time, what can I say? It was very intimidating. Well, seriously, if you're staying in front of 15 people and everyone knows what to do, and still you have to tell them every symbol, every single step. This was a really intense 2 hours or even almost 3 hours class, because every one of our 15 students had to go up in front and teach us the poses. So we did the same poses, Trikonasana and Warrior 2 poses, for like 15 times. And when we finished that, we started from the beginning and we had to teach the other one. So as I was teaching first the Trikonasana pose, now I had to teach the Warrior 2 pose. And I wasn't prepared for that at all, because I wasn't going through it in my mind before I had to go up in front of the class and teach. Now, very intense, and I'm glad I made it. And it wasn't the best, not at all. It was really bad. At least I had the feeling it was. But that's what I'm there for. I'm going to learn how to do it right so I can teach you if you don't do yoga yet. Now, this morning we will start with a adjustment class as well. So we have a different teacher this morning than we had yesterday. After this, I can tell you, I was ready to go home and in my bed and sleep it off for at least 2 hours. Well, I couldn't, because this was only half of the day yet. So after lunch we came back and we had 2 hours of philosophy. Now, what can I say? I'm not convinced of the theory of what the teacher is telling us. To be quite honest, I'm not believing in it at all. So it's kind of difficult to concentrate for 2 hours. But I made it, and I'm taking it in, even though I don't believe in it. So sorry for that. And we finished the day with a asana practice. This was supposed to be for 2 hours. We only made 1 hour of it, because the philosophy class was actually going way longer than we were thinking it would be. Now, Sunday morning, and the sun is shining actually after yesterday. My God, it was a really bad day yesterday. Rain, rain, and rain. Yeah, it was grey and grey, but today sun is shining and I am going to walk to the yoga studio in about half an hour. Now, This gives me half an hour time to go over my material we got last time, because I really have to learn how a human cell looks like. I don't know that. I had that maybe 10, no, more than 20 years ago back in school. We were talking about cells, human cells, but I never used it over the last 20 years, so I forgot it. I forgot all about it, and now I have to learn it again. There's the cell. And the worst part is that I have to learn it in English, and as it's not my first language, that is even more difficult for me. Alright, guys, I'm going to learn the human cell, and I talk to you later. Here I am again. It is Sunday evening, just around 8 o'clock, yes. Now, the second weekend of my yoga teacher training is already over. How sad! Time is flying. Now, today, on this Sunday, we mainly worked in groups of 2 to go over some asana adjustments. Adjusting each other poses, we learned how to adjust in the right way and what clues to look for in the pose. Now, focusing on the pose internally each time you do your own practice, you don't really know how that pose is supposed to look like from someone who looks at you, because you never practice in front of a mirror. Well, I don't, because I don't have that big a mirror in my room, as you can see. So you kind of need to learn first how the pose should ideally look like in order to be able to adjust it, right? Now, this is a great way to get to know each other, but also to get to know your own body and how to best work with it, and of course, how to physically adjust someone in that pose. Basically, hands on. We also had 2 hours of anatomy just after lunch break. And this time I found that class so much more interesting than the last one, because we were talking about the human bones. It is absolutely challenging for me to learn all these technical words, right? But still, great to know how the bones work, or more specifically, how they don't work. That's the interesting part. Our homework till next month is to put together a yoga class for beginners. We have to choose 10 different poses and to shortly explain why we choose those asanas. Now, as I am very tired right now, as you might imagine, I'm not going to think about it today. I will start tomorrow, and then I have 1 month. The teachers underlined again how important it is to do your own yoga practice every day at home. And we also should include a meditation session in our day as well. For the start, around 5 to 10 minutes every day. How to do that, we learned yesterday. So I hope I remember all of this. I enjoyed that weekend immensely. As we are getting to know each other a bit better, I feel more comfortable during the classes and I try out more things. It's also quite okay to do something completely wrong, because that is when every one of us learns the most. I know I have a lot of learning to do regarding anatomy. I have a lot of reading to do, especially philosophy. Also, my daily yoga practice needs to get a bit stronger. I need to build more different poses in my routine and to work on those asanas I'm actually not feeling comfortable in. That means I have to get out of my comfort zone more often. I know, very difficult one, at least for me. I don't know how you feel about it. As a summary, I would have to say that it was a very intense but also very helpful and interesting weekend that challenged me a lot. Talking in front of a bunch of people pushed me way out of my comfort zone. And to be honest, I feel good that I did it. So that's a start, isn't it? Now, I'm going to relax for the rest of the Sunday evening. I have something light to eat, and the early night, I can tell you that. Tomorrow, I'm up at 6 a.m. again to start another busy week. I hope to see you all again next month. Enjoy the November 2014. Any suggestions or questions, please feel free to let me know. Now I say good night